prepare. I prepare. I have my foundations. I have everything, but my mind is free. Let's see what's gonna happen. Then I'm gonna react. Then I have the time reaction. I feel the energy now. Now I feel he's gonna do this thing. Then I'm gonna counter him. Something like that.
Welcome to the Movement and Performance Podcast, where we discuss the art and science of human movement. Today I have with me Chinzo Machida. Chinzo is a professional MMA fighter, coach, and instructor known for his expertise in Shotokan karate. In this episode, we will discuss strategies that can be used for both combat and performance. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So thank you for today.
Thank you.
It is a...
How can I call you, like Anthony or
Anthony Carano.
Carano.
On Instagram it says Coach Carano, but you could say Anthony. Yeah, Anthony's okay. It's really a childhood dream. I was telling you before, my whole life I did karate. And when I was in school, some people would say, oh, karate, that won't work. Then you and your brother went in the ring and you rocked it. Rocked it. I would tell anytime I need an example of how karate works, not that karate needed it because karate is already great, but I looked to you and your brother and I said, these two guys are where it's at. And I used to show your videos, we'd post and share stuff. So out of all the things, my podcast is dedicated to movement, but karate is my bread and butter. Karate is my heart. So this is a special episode.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much, Anthony.
Yeah. So I wanted to dedicate the episode to a little bit more of the mindset. When I was growing up, a lot of the martial arts, there was some concepts that I heard, that were rooted in Japanese philosophy. Fudoshin, Zanshin, Mushin. And I was wondering, are there any karate concepps that are maybe your favorites or ones that you use in your training that you feel are important?
I use all of them. All those, the terminology that you mentioned is part of our karate, not to implement this for the techniques only, but all the challenge that you have, you should implement that to succeed.
So give me maybe an example of one or two. I know your website has Fudoshin.
Yeah, Fudoshin is the resilience. So when you you have a challenge, sometimes you're not sure what's going to happen there. So, for example, if you get beat up during the ring, or during the octagon, during the fight, so your mind should keep it focused on what's your goal. So when sometimes you get beat up for a moment, you sometimes tend to desperate, how can I handle that? Or if the guys beat me up, so you don't have your emotional control. So then you start making more mistakes. Then it's really hard to recuperate to win the fight. But when you have resilience, you put all the negative thoughts out. So then you keep it focused to your goal, and you're able to handle that the bad position or bad situation, or because you get beat up, and you not relate your mind with there really what you have to do. How come, for example, you don't thinking, that's is you losing. Doesn't matter what's happened, you keep it focused to your goal. So that's how much you handle to get beat up. So that's is basically like a Fudoshin. And you're still able to continue toward to your dream, toward to your goal. So that is the Fudoshin concept that you use in our in our karate methodology, in our karate a class to make the students understand this concept, because everybody has difficult times. Everybody has a challenge. But how you able to handle to get beat up, to get frustrated, and get disappointed, and how you come from there to go toward to your goal. So that's basically the Fudoshin. So I have a fight I did with a very good jiu-jitsu fighter that the guy beat me in the first round, beat me in the second round. So he smashed me, threw me to the floor, but I able to defend. But all the time, my goal was focused in, okay, I was losing the fight, but my goal is never desperate. Okay, no, my mind was, okay, but if I have a chance, I do what I have to do it. Now I go toward to my goal. My goal is finish this guy. So at the end of the third round, I was able to finish him because that fight, I didn't connect like the bad situation or the bad position that I had with that I'm not possible to win that fight. No, I always keep my focus what I have to do.
And so would you say that you had a plan before you went in and now you're just sticking to that plan? No,
Yeah.
like you said, not being desperate, not switching, not last minute. The plan is the plan, and the whole time I stick to it.
Yeah, I stick to it, but I had to change my game plan about the techniques. But my mind continued the same.
The
But
goal.
my technique, my goal continued the same, but I didn't success with my first plan. So my coach was like giving me some orientation. No, my coach was my brother. He's giving me some orientation, but I persist in the same mistake. No, I have to do this way, but it didn't work. So I need to change my strategy, and I win the fight.
Nice. So so another one I think of is Mushin, and being from Brooklyn, New York, and not being Japanese, sometimes I interpret as best as I can, right? But I didn't have a Japanese sensei to, and sometimes terminology or things get lost. But my understanding is Mushin, it means like no mind, right? That when you're in the ring, you're kind of not thinking too much, you're flowing. But would you say, is that what Mushin is, or is Mushin something different? And when you get in the ring, are you no mind, or are you thinking? Are you what's your mindset when you're there?
So when the Mushin is kind of a little different. So Fudoshin is more about resilience. So, Fudoshin is more about resilience. Mushin is open-minded. So open-minded means no judgment. So you don't label the things before you have sure what's happened, what it is. So for example, you're gonna fight, then you say, okay, this guy is a weak, or this guy is so strong, or the guy is gonna do this technique, or if the guy do this technique, what I have to do it. So then you put a lot of stuff in your mind that sometimes doesn't happen. Sometimes this will not happen. So what's you put? You put a lot of information, a lot of judgment that is unnecessary. So then you start thinking too much because you put this kind of thoughts in your mind. So the judgment. So then what's happened? You're not gonna be in the flow because your body is gonna be more tense. Your reaction is gonna be delayed. Your timing reaction is gonna be delayed too. And there is an opportunity that you're blind, you don't see, because you already have the judgment. You already have things that, I know this guy wanna do this, but something this will not happen until you see. So this is Mushin, is a state of mind that's gonna be open for everything, open for opportunity and open for defend yourself. These are Mushin. So, for example, I have the conversations here. So you have sometimes you have the script. Or let's talking about better, negotiation. You have to, you wanna sell something. I wanna buy something. So if you come with the script, so Anthony wanna sell me this, probably he's gonna say this, he's gonna say, this, let's see the house, this house is good, this. So I have my point of view. So then I have my script. right? So I want to say this. But sometimes the conversation go in different direction. Then I may judge you already what you're going to say to me because it's more logic thing. But I'm not paying attention to the conversation. I'm not open to the conversation because I have my script. I have to know, I know what I have to say to him. I'm ready. So when I go there, I just say something and you say something, but I don't see, like I don't feel the energy. I don't feel, sometimes you give me some tip that I can use this to have a better negotiation. But I don't see this opportunity because I'm stuck in what I have already. But you give me some information that I can use this to negotiation better. Maybe the price, maybe the long term, like to see a better deal for me. But I don't see this because, oh no, I'm gonna say this. My plan is this, I'm gonna do this way. So that is like a Mushin is not there because I'm not opening. I'm not present. I don't see the opportunity because I stuck in the judgment. Oh, he's gonna say this, gonna say that. So I'm not there. So Mushin, when you prepare, I prepare, I have my foundations, I have everything, but my mind is free. Let's see what's gonna happen. Then I'm gonna react. Then, I have the time reaction. I feel the energy now. Now I feel he's gonna do this thing. Then I'm gonna counter him. Something like that. No? Also, there is a fight that I had that I didn't have so much Mushin. There is one situation in Brazil that when I fought, is a karate tournament, is in my state. So I have a lot of students. You have to like you fight in the home. So you need to win that fight. I put this in my mind. I have to win that tournament. Because like people come from different states, I have to represent here, my students there. So when I start fighting, I start so stuck. And I win the fight very bad, like a 1 point. Normal is a vazari, and vazari is like a half point, to make you 1 point, This in Shobu Ippon. So then I do 1 point, then I win the fight. I never get Ippon because I was stuck, I have to do this, I have to win, I have to do this technique. I'm not in the flow. I was not in the flow. So when I fought 4 fights and I was in the final. And the final was my brother to the other side because I won my brackets and he won his bracket.
That's good.
When you see you in the final.
Which brother?
Lioro.
It was.
Lioro was there. So when I see that, final, Chinzo and Lioro.
Yeah.
Then I relax. Why I relax? Because, for me, if I win, if my brother win, it's
So
in the
what?
family.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
So I don't care anymore.
Right.
So then, and Lioro was fighting very good. He didn't think that way. All the fight, he won by Ippon. Like a 1 point. Next one, 1 point. He won very quick and fast, and he got the final first. So then I got the final later, but when I see him, Lioro's there. So then I relax, then I able to use Mushin. So all the movement Lioro did, then I was in the flow. So I feel the difference to be in the flow, like a Mushin, and not in the flow. And I beat him very quickly.
Yeah.
And he was fighting all 4 fights that he did before.
Right.
He did very good.
Right.
And I did really not so good.
Right.
But I got the final.
But
when I go to the final, I see, all the technique he did, now, boom.
Right.
Because my techniques was not delayed. It's fast. This is how the minds relate.
So how would you train that? Is it just a mindset that you remind yourself about? Is there maybe meditation practice helps? Or is there anything that you do to train that mind?
Yeah, so I do meditation like every day. This is help a lot. And you always have to keep an eye for your small thoughts. Small thoughts, how you react. I can see this, for example, last 2 2 weeks ago, I did my belt test for
I
6th
saw.
degree in Japan.
Congratulations.
Oh,
I
thank
saw.
you. Thanks a lot. In Japan.
Yeah.
So this is a Shotokan karate. But here you create the methodology called Machida karate. So the basic is the Shotokan, but you you bring back all karate techniques that nowadays people don't practice anymore. For example, uppercut, knees, hooks, MP like elbow, defend takedown. So self-defense situation, that's you implement this to our system. And one of my friends in the committee part, they called to me and say, Shinzo, let's do this. You're not gonna do foot sweep. You're not gonna do like go to the floor. Just go stand, like strike only. Say, but why? No, because it's better. But it's a part of karate, ashibarai, those kind of things. No, but it's better just do strike. Then I think, no. Because I want to feel free. I don't want to feel worried. Or if you go close to me and I have the thing, then I do foot sweep, then I make the commitment to you that I cannot do this. No, I want to keep flow. And also, you also keep flow. Let's do a good fight and they're going to see what's happened.
So choosing things you're more comfortable with maybe is a good thing.
Yeah, you not put a lot of small thing in your mind. For example, my friend, he said, Shinzo, don't do that. Then one thing I have to put in my mind, I cannot do this. I'm going to be worried.
Right.
No? Or I should do this. I have to do this.
Right.
Another thing you put in your mind. No, be free. Go what you have. Don't try to, don't try to fit the expectation. In this case, for the examiner. That's the thought I put in my mind. I don't try to fit the expectation from an examiner. I show what I have. Then, if I fit his expectation, I pass. If I don't fit, next time. I know it's not easy to think that way because you have a lot of investment, you have a lot of travel to one country to another, but that's going to give you the best performance. Then you start thinking, I have to do this, then you're not going to be stuck. So that's kind of one way that you can meditation and small thoughts can affect your performance. So you have to eliminate all small thoughts because it's going to escalate for the big thoughts that really compromise your performance.
Yeah, when I used to compete, I used to tell myself, 'cause it's easy to get distracted, the audience, who's there, who's watching, you're nervous. And I said, what am I going to focus my attention on? Don't focus on the opponent and how big he is or scary he is. Don't focus on the audience. Don't focus on anything else but what I have control over.
You're right.
And I would just bring myself back to me. And what do I have control over? Whether it's breathing exercise before I go out, take a deep breath, relax. And I used to tell myself, the only thing I can do is the best version of myself. Every other thought is not going to benefit me.
Right.
So I would say, I'm not going out to compete against an individual. I'm actually going to just put out my best performance.
Right.
And when I had that in my head, that I used to think of it more like a show. That this is me putting on my show.
You're right.
And I say, when I have that mindset, I go out, I put on my show, I would perform better, I noticed, Because in the beginning, I started competing at a young age, and I would get nervous. I always got nervous, I see the guy come in with the same belt as me, and he looked like the same age, and I'd say, maybe he's going to be the guy I have to fight, And I started telling myself at a certain age, none of that is beneficial at all. Yeah. The only thing I can do is my technique. Go on and put on my show,
That's the way I fought it too. This is my time. This is my show. I'm going to show what I have.
Yeah.
Then you're going to see. So
and then it's out of your control, right? From there,
control.
Whether I win or lose, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But I can't control that anyway. So why even focus on it?
Yeah. That's the Mushin.
Yeah.
That's the Mushin because you're going to put all this distracting away from you.
I love it. So another big one then, maybe Zanshin. Can you speak to Zanshin too?
Zanshin, yes.
Yeah.
Zanshin is another state of mind that you're gonna be prepared. You're gonna be ready. No, for any situation, you're ready to respond. For example, in karate, like Zanshin is state of mind, like usually now punch and distract, because you're gonna think you're gonna score point, and distract. So sometimes there is another chance that you can continue, but you stop. Or sometimes you punch and you stop, though the encounter come. Because you already, I got my point, and the counter come. That is a kind of Zanshin, that if you apply this for everyday life, is you have to finish and make sure everything is finished. If you go, for example, you have like a negotiation, you close the deal, make sure everything is go through until the end, so then you can celebrate. Sometimes you already celebrate too early. This guy already, like for example, you underestimate a person, the guys can surprise you. So then you not have Zanshin, because your state of mind, you already underestimate him. This guy, I'm gonna win this guy. This guy is easy. So the guy counter you, or he's attacking you, and you're not able to defend because you not have Zanshin.
Yeah, that's good. I remember somebody telling me something almost like, you ever see like a cat hunting like a mouse, that it's kind of like this state of alertness. But do you think sometimes in karate, sometimes I see in some tournaments, not all, but a guy punch and then he's like celebrating too soon. Is that maybe, as opposed to maybe punch and now you're still eyes on your opponent, still in a full, complete, ready scenario to attack again until you watch him drop or whatever it may be?
Yeah, that's the Zanshin. That's to be alert. Now alert all the time, and sometimes it's not to like finish that way, but sometimes you have another chance to eliminate, because the guy punch, boom, and the guy he contracted his ab because he's accused and he suffered the punch in his belly, but you're not able to realize that you have another chance to finish that fight. Why? Because you're not in Zanshin. So Zanshin is start of alert, then you feel, this guy, he's accused my technique, I go to eliminate him now, That's also is a Zanshin. It's not only to finish, is a Zanshin, but there is also to defend yourself and also to get a chance, to opportunity to finish the fight. It's an alert, is alert situation. It's alert awareness. Alert awareness.
So another big thing that I used to use the analogy for karate, or when I'd compare karate and boxing, I would say I feel like karate is a little bit more like a sniper, and boxing maybe a little more like a machine gun. Like it's more like one hit, one kill. I think the term is Ikken Hissatsu. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
So how are you able to finish the opponent with one blow? Now, obviously, sometimes it's more than one. But if I'm trying to capitalize on that moment, how do you, what are some strategies? Like I watched your video, you had a clean, beautiful uppercut, and it was like a nice distance one too. It wasn't like too up close tight, but how are you getting that moment? Are you setting up the person? Are you feinting? Are you creating an opening? Are you looking at their weaknesses? How are you able to capitalize on such a moment and finish that opponent?
Yeah, so in karate, martial arts, it's different from the other martial arts, because you're, as you mentioned, it's more about snipe. Snipe, so you have to see distance, timing. You have to find those two things, distance and timing. So then after you have to have a good precision. But first, distance and timing and precision. So first you with the long distance, with the distance, you're able to control your opponents, because when he come, you have to anticipate his movement. Or you come, I go back. You come, then I move back a little bit. So I never let you find the distance. But from here, I can hit you from where I am, because my stance is kind of bend my knee. So when I bend my knee, I able to go farther. I able to go from long distance. So that's I control the distance. So when I control the distance, I make you weak, because you didn't find your distance. So you tend to try to chase me, or you tend to be stationary. And from that point, I start do my techniques, feint, and I see what's gonna do it through my feints. And I feint and I hit you, boom. Then when you come, I move back. If you stay, I go again. So that's make you confused. Whoa, what is this guy? So when I confuse you, because when the fight starts for 50% for you, 50% for me. But I make you, over time, make you weaker, make you lose your confidence, make you lose, through your, like miss your distance, miss your time, and make you like lose your confidence. So then you're not more 50%, you go now 40%. Then I go 60%. Then the fight's going on, and then you 30%, then I 70%. Then I can see your weak, or now your weakness. Okay, you are now do something that's, I can't capitalize that, because your confidence is not there anymore. So then I can do one technique, boom, with the good distance, good time, and the precision. So then I able to knock you out, because I built those situations. So that's kind of like you can do one blow and finish the fight.
How do you choose which blow and where? So reverse punch to chin, front kick to belly. What are you studying the opponent and looking at their weakness? Like, how do you pick which move and what you'll hit?
Yeah, that's how the state of Mushin is very important, because during the fight, my opponent give me what I should do. If I see his video before, I can see like what technique I can use, but actually I have to eliminate that judgment and that thought before the fight, when I go to the fight. As I mentioned, it's a kind of negotiation. What my opponent give me, I reply to him. So, for example, there is one fight that I did in MMA, I did the uppercut. And I train uppercut, but I don't train so much. But when I do the feint, my opponent show me he's gonna duck a little bit, and he wants to attempt to do the haymaker punch or overhand. But I didn't think that way. I saw the movement. I feint, he did this, and he come back. So if I do straight punch, my punch is gonna pass him, and he's gonna knock me out with the overhand. Then what I did? Sorry?
You switched it up.
I switch it up. No, I do feint. Actually, I didn't switch, but I didn't think to do straight punch, because he showed me this. When he showed me he duck, then I didn't think it just came. I was the flow. Then I did punt and uppercut. Bing! And I knocked him out, because he come totally to my hands. No? So that's the thing that I set up. But if I see, and after the fight, I say, why I did the uppercut? Why I did that? Because I almost don't train this.
Right.
Right? How I did is go.
It's there.
It's there. No? I see the movement, and the punch go by almost itself.
Right.
So this is a kind of like a Mushin. Like I saw the opportunity, then I did. No?
Yeah, so it's almost a little bit of both, because I have two mindsets there too. It's, I look at the opponent and I can respond based off of them. And then I heard a fighter say one time, or actually it was a karate guy. I'm going to forget his name. I'll have to mention it later. He's a world champion. I went to one of his seminars. But he said, be a creator. So meaning like create the moment that you want to make.
Yes.
So are there any times that maybe you do something like that, where this is the move you want to hit him with, and you're going to create the moment for that to happen? So maybe I I want to hit him with a reverse punch to the chin, so I'm going to go to the belly first, you know, make his hand, where you're setting him up in a way where you're going to create that moment or that weak spot that you want.
No, you create the moments.
Yeah.
You create the moments and you create the techniques. Then you're gonna react according of your movements. But I cannot sometimes, for example, I kick your leg, then you catch my leg. So then I see the next time when I kick you, I have to do something because you catch my leg. But if I kick you, you block to the side. So then I have another technique to apply that. So I have the response according of your reaction. So that is important. I do the test first, boom, kick. According of your reaction, the next time I'm gonna react differently. Because I cannot prevent so much what you're gonna do it. No? I know a little bit, but sometimes you do different. So I have to be not like a surprise what you do it. I have to be ready, or this he reacts for that way. Okay, I'm gonna reply that way.
And how about angles? I feel like in karate there's a lot of cutting angles.
Yeah, cut angles. It's in Japanese you call taisabaki. Taisabaki.
Yeah,
you go and cut the angle and do it because you try to looking for the dead angle. So this is the center. So when you go to this side here, so there is a delay that your opponent pay attention. So you go to the side and come for that angle. So this angle is going to facilitate you to success your techniques.
I love it. So
even for attack and even for defense.
So you had the opportunity to be both a corner man and a competitor. When you were coaching, what you got to be the corner man for your brother when he was in competing for the championship.
Yes, everything from since for the beginning, the first fight until the championship.
Like, what are you looking for? Like when he comes back to that corner and you give him advice, what's some things that you're looking for in that ring or advice you look to give him in that moment?
Yeah, before the fight, you always give him the mindset to be ready, the techniques that he most of the time he uses, like distance, time. But when he comes to the corner, I have to analyze how was the first round. And I'm gonna tell him the information that he needs to use that. For example, there is one fight that he fought Randy Couture. And he was waiting for Randy Couture's coming, and he want to intercept with the punch. So, and Randy Couture move and he punch and move back. But Randy Couture put the head a little bit to the side, here a little bit lower, and try to grab him all the time, and he escaped. But he was stuck in that technique. He was only thinking that technique. And my father, 3 months before the fight, my father told Yoro, let's train Nidangiri. Jump.
Yep.
Let's practice. And he practiced with Yoro many times. And he started using that in the sparring and works. And he got the confidence. But during the fight, he was only stuck for a Gyakuzuki reverse punch to get his opponent, Randy Couture, with the counter punch. Then I saw the fight, say, oh, Yoro is kind of tense. He's kind of just expect the Couture's coming to get that. So when he comes, Yoro, let's play more. Instead of be more serious. So I told you, Yoro, when you come for the first round, Yoro, let's play more. Let's have fun. You so much worry about he coming and you want to intercept. Relax, play to fight. So then he started relaxing more. Then the technique that my father asked him to do, to apply that, come to his mind naturally, because Randy Couture was kind of lean forward this. And he do feint and boom, kick, and the kick, boom, go. So the technique was there, but he was not able to see the thing because he was so stuck in the intercept. And I was there and I able to realize that he was, because I know him now. Since we are very young, you compete together, you compete against each other. So I know his thought, oh, this guy want to do this. So Then I say, oh, Europe, let's relax more. So I didn't say, oh, kick, oh, punch, but I say relax. So when he relaxed, so he is able to do the technique that my father taught him.
I had a workshop I did for schools years ago, but it was on play. And at the end, I would say before enlightenment, you play, and after enlightenment, you play. But meaning like it sounds, doesn't make sense if you don't hear the whole workshop. But, when you're a kid, you have no attachment to these things. You could do whatever you want. Then there's a point when you become an adult and you have to do this, have to do that. There's a point, I think, when you get wise enough that you realize it's all play again. And I think we perform best when we're in a spirit of play. Because like you said, the mind, the Mushin, it's not attached to anything, and you can now be fully in that moment, so that's some really good stuff. Is there any big mindset piece that I know I said Fudoshin, Mushin, Zanshin. Is there any other Japanese concept that maybe we might have forgot or didn't say?
There is two more things. Like there is a Shin Gi Tai. Shin is a mind and spirit. Gi is technique. Tai is the body. So you have to combine those trees in any part of your life to succeed. Shin is a state of mind, like how you're emotional, how your mind be ready. Gi is the skill, how you like a sharp to do that skill, have to prepare your skill. And Tai, your body. Your body means your conditional, your physical conditional, also your health. Let's see the doctor, like the surgeon doctor. So he has to be calm and a good mind to do the surgery. But also they have to have a skill. As much as they prepare the skill, the operation is going to be smooth. And also they have to have a body condition to stay there 3 hours, 4 hours, pay attention, keep it focused, and health. So all three. So if they combine all three, they succeed. In karate, martial arts, same thing. You're just talking about the mind. So there's a Shin, how your mind is being ready. Gi, if your mind is good, but your technique is not good, so you're not able to succeed, because it's not about only mind. It's also the technique. If your mind is good, technique is good, but no have physical condition, like 2-3 minutes, not able to use the technique anymore. No, this is Shin Gi Tai. So all three connected. So there's another concept that's very good.
And then another one you said is
And another one is the Shu Ha Ri. Shu, it means, it's a Japanese concept. The Shu, you have to first learn without judgment, without question. Just learn, open mind, absorb everything. Is a Shu. Ha is like you start questions. Oh, what I think, what I'm gonna, if I do the different way, this maybe is gonna work better or not. What if I like modify, but could be a different way or not? Maybe the instructor teach it this way, but if I'm adapted for that way, or maybe the instructor is correct or not. That's a question. You're gonna question this. It's a Shu, a Ha. This Ha is this question. Ri, you're gonna create your own technique. You're gonna create your own way to do something.
That's the play.
That's the play, yes. And this is in that part, Ri, it doesn't exist right or wrong. If it works, it's right. If it doesn't work, it's wrong.
I like
But
that.
don't exist, oh, this is not right. No, it's work, so that's right. That's Ri. You're gonna express yourself through that part, Ri. There is one thing that I was heard about, like there is a lot of people that's martial arts coach. So there is one interview that I saw that's one of the martial arts coach was criticized Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira is the UFC champion. Now he like 3 times he defeated his belt and he won 3 times. But if you see his form, it's not the beautiful form. When he's kicking like a roundhouse kick, it's not so good. Like when you see, it's kind of not saying good, but say it's ugly techniques. No, it's the form is not so good. But everything he does in fight works. And there's some experts in like martial arts say, oh, this kick is terrible. The way he walk is terrible. But he beat everyone. No, and that's coming to my mind. Oh, this is not wrong. He used the ri. He's expressed himself through these techniques because it works. Even he said, people say, oh, this is not right. No, it's a shu, ha, ri. Probably when he learned, he uses shu. Then he's going to be like a median, he's ha. Then now he's works for him, he's expressed himself, ri. He modified that technique. He created the technique actually. That's the another stage of learning method. He created new techniques that work for him. As shu, ha, ri. The same thing works for us here. So for example, you learn something, you maybe question something, and you create something. That's creating is that kind of express yourself just for you. Let's do that. So that you create a new technique to make it works for your kind of body, your kind of mindset, your kind of the things.
I love it. So the last big question I had was comparing traditional karate or taking your traditional karate and then going into the ring. Were there any big things that you had to modify that you felt in order to succeed in the ring? Maybe, for example, maybe pulling the chamber hand a little less back. I feel like I see in some of the pictures you have it here. Or is there any big pieces that you had to modify?
Yeah, the thing is karate is very effective martial arts. So the thing is the karate over time become more sport than the martial arts for self-defense. And they lack a lot of techniques that's part of karate that people don't use anymore. For example, knees, elbows, hooks,
everything,
open hand, that's very effective.
Ridge hand,
Ridge hand,
beautiful, love it. It's the art.
But people don't use this anymore because it's a sport. For sports, it's not allowed that. So when they don't use this anymore, they don't practice that. So over time, people forget that's part of karate. So if you throw the knee, people say, oh, this is Muay Thai, or these are kickboxers, not karate. Because they don't relate that's part of karate anymore, but it was part before. So that's the reason you have the Machida karate methodology that you create to bring back all those techniques that's very effective, because our principle is first for self-defense, it's not for sports.
Love it.
Even though sport is very good because develop your distance, time you react, explodes, which is very good. But it's not enough to represent karate as a self-defense. So if you train in traditional karate, for sure you need to modify those kind of training, because people's there, they're not gonna fight only jiu-jitsu, they're not gonna fight only like a Muay Thai or only boxing. No, they're gonna try to grab you. If you're gonna fight like the guy from box, they're gonna try to make the distance shorter to do the hook punch, uppercut. Now the Muay Thai guy is gonna kick your leg. So you have to train those kind of defense and techniques to be able to fight with a different style of your opponents, different situation of your opponents. Now, in the karate, back then, they give you all tools, how to defend the techniques, how to do the short techniques, the elbow, knees. So then you need to adapt, because you're not gonna fight a karate guy. You're gonna fight a different martial arts. So you have to adapt all the time. But the mindset should be the same. No, the mindset should be like keep this kind of Shin Gi Tai, the principle of the mind, techniques, and body combine together.
Is it rooted in Bushido too?
Yes.
Or everything as well?
Yeah, everything is there in the Bushido. Is Bushido principles.
But Bushido principles are, do they overlap with, like I feel like there's a lot of Zen in the martial arts, like Zanshin, Mushin, but Bushido is more from the samurai, but there's still all overlap with everything, right? Or,
Yeah, they combine everything.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, those are the big things. But last thing, this one's more for my personal. When we say the formal bow, I want to see if I say it correctly. Like when we say seiza,
Seiza.
mukso, close their eyes.
Mukso, close the eyes.
Mukso yame. Then we say
open the eyes.
shomen nire.
Shomen nire is bow to the front.
Yep. Sensei nire.
Sensei nire, bow to sensei, the instructor.
Otegai nire.
Otagai nire, everybody together.
Okay.
Together.
Yeah. And more the pronunciation. When I, sometimes I wonder, being in Brooklyn so long, if we lose it. So any last things you want to share? We got to cover a lot today. This is, really good, but just opening the floor if there's any last things you want to say.
Yeah, one thing that I'd like to mention is about courage. Now, courage is very important to always feed your mind, your attitude with courage. Because if you don't have courage, you're not gonna do anything. And courage, you create courage with the small challenge. So you always have to put some challenge in your life to make you alive and to make you check if your courage is there. Stimulate your courage. A small challenge. No, I think is very important because that's gonna make you have a better life and exciting life. Otherwise, you're gonna be bored because you don't have a stimulate to do something. That's the reason other people after retirement they start dying because they don't have a challenge. They don't need to put the effort and the courage there. The commitment is not there anymore. So when you create courage, you make you guys be more commitment, and you're gonna face the challenge.
Yeah, the courage is super important. I think there's a podcast episode I did with one of the guys. He said either as you age you wear out or you rust out, and it's better to wear out. But if you're gonna wear out, you have to have the courage to go and live and do things in life. You have to go out there and you have to do it.
Right, that's good.
So yeah, I mean, this was golden. I really appreciate your time. I know it's a busy week you got. You have the instructor's course and Lyoto tomorrow. I'm going to be there tomorrow. I'm signing up today and I'll be there. So, it'll be exciting to be on the mat with you guys. A dream come true for sure. And I appreciate you and your time and your wisdom today.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.